Muslim families. You'll know families like that where they feel like the older generation was this cosmopolitan, secular Muslim family, and then they're shocked that maybe 2 generations on, there are younger people getting radicalized and becoming, to some extent, fundamentalist and returning to the roots of their religion. Well, why did you raise your kids Muslim? Yeah, you raised them Muslim light. You raised them with a watered-down, westernized version of Islam. But guess what? Like, all the components of the bomb were set out on the dining room table, and all it took was your kid to take this seriously, assemble the components, and they've reassembled the same ideology that's been so potent, it's been such a transformative force in the world for centuries.
This guy is a fucking antichrist. Okay, hola all, welcome back to Soul Mechanics. This is kind of an emergency episode. Please do not step into my office. Obviously we are not there, but you may feel free to make yourself comfortable in my mother's kitchen, which is where we are going to be doing some of this. I'm not sure if it's going to be all of this. Honestly, what we're going to have to do here likely is break this into parts, working on different factors of what I should like to say here about this. But this is a reality check response clip for a particular YouTuber, in a sense, for the channel, and it's a channel called à-bas-le-ciel, I believe it's pronounced. I am a fanatic of wordplay. I'm a rhetorician. I'm an author. I love writing. I adore the English language. Nothing really interests me more than making use of words to paint worlds. But and from what I'm told, I'm very good at it. I'd like to think I am too, based on my comparisons to other works. I do believe I'm an excellent author, writer. But I'm not fluent in any other languages, and I haven't got that deep into language itself. I have other people to do that for me. But this guy that we're responding to, he is, in fact, I do believe he's a teacher or something to that effect. He has various certifications and whatnot. He's an expert in the field of several languages, some of which I've never even heard of, honestly. But as I was saying, we're responding to the channel, or rather the channel operator as regards the channel and its content. We are not responding to the actual character of the person. I do not believe that I am equipped to do that, honestly. This man is... this video should have opened up with a short clip of him and me having remarked that he is the fucking Antichrist. And I'm saying that not merely in regards to modern religion's fictitious concept of an Antichrist character, but as regards the initiative as well. This person, this brilliant young man, may very well be simultaneously one of our very potentially greatest and most powerful allies, and at the same time the most devastatingly dangerous person I've ever come across here in the YouTube arena yet. So this guy, as I said, he's got various certifications and whatnot. I've been kind of cramming on him, watching a lot of his videos, watching a lot of your videos, sir. Hopefully you're watching this. I have tried to speak with this guy. I've tried to get in touch with him via Instagram. See, he's got the comments disabled for all of his videos, which kind of sucks because I've got a lot of good shit to say to you, man, if you're watching. As I said, I tried to engage him on Instagram. Sir, if you are watching, this video is not regarding what I would like to talk to you about. What I would like to talk to you about is actually a time-sensitive issue. I'd like to heavily advise against ignoring me. But I mean, it could be very important, and we may need you on this, and it's understandable that you might not wish to be helpful to us, but I'm going to try and convince you here, and I think I might be moderately successful, although this guy, in my opinion, is a veritable titan in this field of YouTubing. Anyways, he's got all the comments disabled, so I cannot send him a link for this video. What I'm going to have to do if he doesn't get it on Instagram is sort of utilize the mechanics of spotcasting to essentially piss off some of his combatants enough to kind of bank shot it off of them into him, and in what case we're going to likely lose a few very potentially beneficial people. But I'm going to go ahead and think of it as kind of sacrificing pawns for the queen here, because this guy's a big deal. He's very articulate, very well learned, well educated. He's just masterful in every way. His presentation, as regards his demeanor, his character, his everything about him, his rhetoric, his arguments, his ideologies. I wholeheartedly agree with every argument this man has raised, and that's what makes it so very potentially dangerous. Is he's right. He's right about everything, in my opinion. He's right about everything he said, except for the one most immensely critical value that is, in fact, making the foundation of his entirety, like the entirety of his understanding and his character, his frame of reference, I suppose you could say, is based on a broken value that, quite frankly, I'm exceptionally surprised he's not seeing. This guy is obviously a spotter of the very finest degree. I'd register him at a master level, and he's, as I said, he's just exceptionally impressive. This guy, as I was saying, his presentation is perfect in my opinion, and he's a very, very, very impressive person, very potentially powerful, as stated, very potentially dangerous to us and to humanity as a whole, really, which is why I made the Antichrist remark, because what this man is fighting for, essentially, and his platform, I suppose you could say, it seems, is kind of like an activist view, but like a real activist, not like the bullshit virtue signaling assholes we see so much of nowadays. But he wants to work towards actual activism, which we would like to work towards too, only from a different angle. Our beliefs, I suppose you could say, are the only things differing here, but insofar as regards our concerns, they line up perfectly, and we could, regardless of if I can convince this man to change his mind about his deeper considerations or his base considerations, then either way we could do a lot of damage together. By damage, I mean making change, damage to the system as it stands, damage to the ways that things are being run, negatively. Any of the positive things that are good for people, genuinely, obviously, we want to keep that going. We want to maintain and support that. But really, in order to accomplish what we need to accomplish here, what the initiative wants to accomplish here, we're going to have to dismantle the foundation at some point. So, I mean, it's tough to say what's going to be kept and what's going to be lost, but we're going to do our best to maintain the things that we all love, or at least that are beneficial to all of us in some way or another. But what this man is attempting to work towards, his dream, his vision, is what he calls an atheist, secular world. And anybody who's been keeping up with this channel will know that what he means when he says atheist or secular is anti-theist. And this is point blank speaking directly to the value that's making up this guy's, not necessarily his personality, but his considerations, is that he thinks he's an atheist, but he is not. He's actually an anti-theist, and so he's much smarter, apparently much smarter, much more intellectually capable than most, if not all, of the other atheist YouTubers I've come across. And yes, we're still working on the atheist circuit. I'm sorry, guys, anybody who's getting tired of this, but we had to come back around to them. And anybody who's been keeping up or been loyal to the channel from the beginning will know we began this by delving into the atheist YouTuber arena, and took our first shots with the Heathen Hour podcast, and what was her name? I think her name was Rachel Q or something like that, and Paulogia, the floating bobblehead guy, and Godless Cranium, which that kind of happened behind the scenes on Twitter. We didn't get to see that in any videos, but those were the people we initially dealt with, and as it happens, they aren't really as big a deal as I thought they were, and they won't be. They're not going to wind up going much of anywhere. They have built something that's quite impressive. They've done an impressive job at doing it, but they're not presenting anything that's really of any true value. Nothing that they're presenting is lasting. It's more an instant gratification kind of get subscribers quick scheme, really, but they're not. I'm sorry, guys, if any of you are watching Floating Head Pelagia, whatever her name is, the other girl, something Q, Shannon Q, and Godless Cranium, but you guys aren't saying much of anything, really, and you're certainly not actually, activists. You are doing that virtue signaling. I apologize. I'm not trying to be shitty to you. It's just, it is what it is, and Soul Mechanic speaks to the reality, hence the reality checks course. We're going to go ahead and say what's really happening, whether we can be nice about it or not. And we're going to go ahead and say what's really happening with this person, à-bas-le-ciel. I believe his name is Isel Mazard or something like that, but we're going to do our best to make sure he sees this video. So speaking to him from this point forward, sir, you are very impressive. You and I, our considerations insofar as regards the arguments you've raised and the concerns that you have, they line up perfectly. I wholeheartedly agree with you on just about everything. And one thing that he stated in his videos was that we cannot. He was arguing with the other guy that we just ran into, or debating. They call it debating with that. I think Megan said he was Scottish, maybe. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, but these guys seem to be kind of rivals. The dude who did the response for the situation with Rachel Oates, along with Demi in our response video to that situation. Damn it, his name is like Rowan or something. But what Isel said was that we cannot keep the shell of this system. Speaking to religion, we cannot go ahead and try to eliminate the values incorporated by religion and maintain the shell of it, which he was speaking to the holidays that they stole from us, such as Christmas or Easter, and expect for that to play out properly, because there's running the risk of your children, even one generation later, deciding to rebel against their parents and taking up the mantle of that shell and, essentially reigniting the flames of religion, which religion is. We're going to try to get all of you to the bottom of this in this series of videos. Religion is the most dangerous thing that has ever existed. It is, in fact, the only thing that has ever existed that is truly an enemy to humanity and to nature itself, to spirituality. In essence, it is a weapon. It's nothing other than a very intricately, very, very, very capable and very intricately designed trick, a scam, a weapon that's been designed to kill what it presents itself as supporting or representing. But we'll get to that. Anyway, speaking to this Isel person, again, I agree with you. You and I could do a lot of good together. We could make a huge difference. You're very impressive. As I said, I won't even try to approach your actual character as a person, because I don't feel as though I'm capable of doing that. Like, this guy is intimidating. But what I will say is that I do believe that you are still falling for the scam, and he's a spot, as I said, he's a spotter that I'd place at a master level. I'm exceptionally surprised that you haven't spotted this yet, that you haven't seen what I'm going to try and present to you here in this little series of clips. But to introduce, this video is just to introduce him to you guys, to the audience, to the channel, and to introduce myself to him should he see this. I am, you can find out everything now, just long story short. I am the acting director of the Status Initiative, which is a networking group seeking to network, coordinate, organize all of the, I suppose you could say, all of the groups, all of the factions, I was going to say factions of what we believe is a worldwide initiative that is here for the purpose of ensuring that humanity makes it through what is culminating in a crisis scenario here, wherein big changes are going to be made to the world, and you, sir, are going to be take a big part in that. He said in his videos at some point, he said, I can't do much by myself, and I'm not going to make such a huge difference, but if we can manage to work together, we could step by step start to make big changes. But the fact of the matter is that you, sir, alone have already made big changes, and you are going to make a serious fucking impact in the future, perhaps not even knowing it. And it's funny that that should be the case, considering that likely you don't even know why you've made the impact that you have made. Now, I don't have any certifications to speak of. I have a CNA, I'm certified STNA. That's it, really. I kind of have a graduate's degree as regards high school, and I snuck around colleges, I stole textbooks, I learned everything I could, but I'm self-taught, and I've been trained by experts in various areas of interest for me. I've received and undergone training to, build up my repertoire or my psychological inventory, but I don't have any special certifications. I'm not registered expert in anything. I am just the person that I've trained myself to be, that I've been trained to be by others, and I've done pretty well so far. But I've been through a lot of very, very difficult challenges, and I've just essentially, I'm technically nobody, so you have no reason to give a shit about what I'm saying. But I strongly urge you to just kind of take a chance at paying attention here, because we're going to get into some serious shit that does in fact matter to you, that you are in fact totally missing, apparently. So that's 17 minutes. That'll be that for this clip. In the next clip, we will begin our assessment and begin to raise our argument for this brilliant, impressive person that we are speaking to here. Thank you all for watching. Hila Salai, Teriyuni Siari, Namaste.